Hi, okay, this section, this video is about the CGA and EGA functionality of the GBS control. Now, the GBS control pod is an optional extra, which is this middle one here. As you can see, it's going in with a 9-pin connector on there just above the SCART. And you can see I've also got the composite in there. You'll see that later. So this section is going in 3 machines, the C128D I've got here, so the whole C128 range is supported on the 9-pin output, which is the 8 column. I also have a Amstrad PPC 640, which is purely CGA, so you can see that. And then on my Toshiba T3200, which is an EGA based laptop. So I hope this video is useful, and it shows you the quality you can get, and I hope that comes across because it looks amazing here. Anyway, I'll shut up and just let the video continue. Okay, so what we have here is my Amstrad PPC 640. As you probably know, it's CGA only for the external monitor. In fact, it's CGA only, period. But this is to show it working. So at the moment it's on the LCD panel, probably can just about see it. But let's switch it over. So I'll just switch this on to the main display. Okay, so there you see, nice and bright. So it works. I mean, this is the key thing. So you've got this, if you've got these old CGA machines, you can use it on the monitor because we put the electronics in there to do it. Now, I don't have a lot of software for this Amstrad, which I'm going to get more over time. But I do have one game that you're probably aware of. So I'll load that one up. I'm sure the author would be pleased to see this. Most people use this, but he does have a nice CGA version. Right, so we'll put it into CGA 4-color mode, PC speaker. There you go. So we've got the colours. It might be a little bit bright on the screen. I can turn it down just a little bit, but it's a balancing act, so you can see the text. But anyway, so we're going to the game. But the other thing you can do is, once it's loaded, so you can see that's in the default colour scheme, but you can switch. Oh, let's get the right one. CGA palette. So you can switch your palette, but also, as you may have seen on the, or you may have seen on the Toshiba, we have on here, if I can find it, a brown fix switch, which allows you to switch the yellow to brown. It's something that I was not aware of, but we've got it on the board. It's for people who know about these kind of things. But that's built onto the board, so it takes care of that. As you can see, it's a nice shot. Hopefully it's coming across nice and sharp. I have had a problem with my floor, because it's got a wooden floor when I'm recording. So when I'm moving, it's kind of shaking the display, so it looks like it's shaking. It's actually rock solid here. So hopefully that's coming across. But yeah, there you go. That's in CGA. So let's, oh, hang on. Well, look, I'm not a games player, but as you can see, I mean, it looks great. I mean, it does look, I mean, it looks even better on the screen. Normally I'd have this brighter, but it's already quite bright on the recording. Yeah, so there you go, CGA. So if you've got a CGA machine, the monitor can handle it. Okay, and just a note. So if it doesn't look centered, it's just an adjustment. Okay, quite easy to adjust, and you can pull that across. In fact, actually, what I'll do just to prove that, which I'll grab this. Okay, we're going to VGA setup, and then we'll go horizontal, and then you can see it will just move across. Yeah, and there's also with GBS control, there's even more fine tuning of it. So you can really play around and get it how you want it. But anyway, so there you go. That's also, just so you know, let's have a look what screen mode that's running. That's actually running a 640 by 480, but it just looks absolutely fantastic. So hope that helps. Okay, so now this is an interesting one. This is I was looking for a machine that was EGA only. So we can test and fine-tune the firmware, etc. for the monitor. And one of the few that you can actually get or that was available, was the Toshiba T3200. And so I ordered this, and it had a, as you can see, it's got the vertical line. Ignore the blanket, that's just the refresh of the camera. But you can see the vertical lines, it turned up, and the hard drive wasn't working. But even with those problems, absolutely love this laptop. It is a beast. I mean, I'm going to do a separate video on this because I get very excited about it. But it's a 286, okay, and I have a history with 286s. A long time ago, and I went to college, and I'll tell you about that in another video. But this is a beautiful machine, because this highlights an issue. So you can see that the screen has got those vertical lines, which is really sad, and until you get it repaired, it's hard to do anything with. So, but what you can do is, obviously, you can switch to that. So now, basically, my monitor can handle EGA and CGA. So let's get started. So I'm actually going to run through quite a bit of software on here. So let's start off with. This is actually a diagnostic disc that comes with it. I'm just going to run through the diagnostic tests. So you'll see the display issue. It's not something we can do. So by default, we support just about all of the modes. It's just the 400 line versions that we struggle with. And hopefully that's not too bright. In fact, I might actually bring it down just a fraction. Just a fraction. Because otherwise it can look burned out. Right. So as you can see, it's showing up. This is the 320, but you'll notice that now this is why I showed the brown fix again. So if I go around the back, there's a little switch. We just click that switch, and you can see that these yellows down here have switched to brown. Okay, so they call them dirty yellows, and okay, so we switched to brown now. So that works. Now this is obviously EGA 16 color. Now the other thing what I was telling you about the high res is also 64 color is affected by this. So I know it seems like, oh, it's another upgrade, but unfortunately we do need it. I didn't want to make it so that it was overly expensive for most people. Okay, but if you do want those really high resolution modes and the 64 color, this just means we have to upgrade the board a bit to give it a frame buffer, and it's just a bit of memory and that kind of thing to do some fine tuning. But standard, I think, will suit most people. Anyway, so let's press enter. So you can see here's the character mode. And here's, we start getting into the high resolution. There's 680 by 25 character display. Okay, so here's your colours, and they switch again. 320-200 again with the colour, the two palette options. Okay, so now this is 640 by 200 in graphics mode. Hopefully it's not too burnt out, but it is absolutely pin sharp here. Absolutely beautiful. So let's do the next one. Okay, so 640 by 200. Now, full disclosure, this is the mode that we're working on at the moment, and this unfortunately cannot be done in the standard board. There will be enough. It won't be much. It's just we have to put a frame buffer on. I didn't want everyone to have it for the few people that need it. See, does that. That's because it can't hold it. It can't do. We need to switch frequencies and all kinds of tricks. So it's only that mode. So, but for most things, it's absolutely fantastic. Right. So let's go. Let's exit. Okay. So we're back here. I can't spell. Back here. Now I'm just going to swap the disc over. I want you to see what this looks like. I'll get to games in a minute. I'm just going to show you a couple of bits. Now I may edit this because everything's on the floppy disk instead of the hard drive, because the hard drive don't work on this version. I've actually ordered another one because I love it so much, and I'm giving this to Happy. But everything's from floppy disk, so it kind of gets a bit upset sometimes. Anyway, let's switch to here to B. Yes, okay. Okay, so let's load up the editor. It's just Microsoft Edit. I do have Quick Basic on it as well, but let's just do Edit. Here we go. Now, remember what I said, you can scale the screen to make it better for you if you want. Escape keys over here. Or let's see if we've got anything in here. I probably haven't got, I'm not actually sure if I got anything in it. Look, okay. That was mainly to show you how nice it looks. Okay, so let's go and find something more interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to load up now is DOS shell. Now I'm putting it into text mode because if you put it into graphics mode, it does it in the very high resolution, and of course that's the bit that we haven't done yet. Again, that will come in a separate plug-in board. It just adds a frame buffer memory, so we can change the. It's basically to do with frequency ranges that the card can't handle it, so we have to create a frequency converter for that mode. Okay, so let's. Okay, so now as you can see, hopefully that looks really good. You may notice that, well, that's very quick for a floppy disk. That's because I'm editing, okay, because it takes forever to load off the floppy disk. But as you can see, it's actually quite nice. This is the text mode, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think that looks absolutely beautiful. And so it's really nice and usable. Now, as I said, I've ordered another one of these that's got a perfect screen and a perfectly working hard drive because I really want one of these. They're absolute beast of a machine. Weighs 6 ton, but it is a fantastic machine. Anyway, let's now get on to something maybe a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to close this down. Right, this time I'm going to load PX3, but in EGA mode. So now this will be 16 colours. As I said, I'll probably repeat myself, but we can do 16 colours, no problem at all. 64 colours, very high resolution. We need the upgrade. But I think 16 colours looks absolutely amazing. Go into here. And again, the brown fix is on here as well, if you want that. I'm not sure if you do. Okay, hopefully that's coming across nice and bright. Now, again, as you all know, I'm not really a gamer, hence me liking to show the editors. But yeah, so we've got that. But this is we have another game I'm going to load, so I'm going to shut this down. Probably most of you are going to remember this from when you were. I know Appy really remembers this game, so let me just get rid of this. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I know I'm biased, but. Okay. Right, back here, let's take out that disc. You'll probably pick this up straight away. Commander Keen. Now, I'm not going to do this game justice. As most people know, I always say it all the time, I'm not a gamer. Yeah. I'll stop so I can edit this out. Here we go. Now again, I hope I got the colours right. Apogee. I know a lot of people. I know that a lot of people do like this game, and I'm not going to do justice. I do apologise in advance, but again, this is really to show you the display and how it works with EGA and CGA as well. Okay, new game. This is where I embarrass myself. Now, Appy did show me this yesterday. He's actually quite good. He obviously had too much time on his hands. But I actually have. Oh, hang on. No, I literally have no idea on this. So I'm just going to run around. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, do you have to jump? No. Oh, I don't know. See what I mean? I haven't got a clue. But quit stars, no. What was that other one? Oh yeah, there it goes. So look, my main point here is it looks really. I think it looks really good. Hopefully, again, it's coming across on the on the colours, but here it's just as sharp as anything. And this is one of the reasons we take it to the shows so people can come along and see it. But Appy's done an absolutely amazing job. You can see that actually that the it's not quite to the left. Now one thing we can do is we can go into here and then just do auto, and it just pings it back into position. There you go. So hopefully that's piqued your interest. Let's go to DOS. Anyway, look, I think it looks great. So I hope that was useful, and hopefully you like the display. Thanks very much. Right, now, Commodore C128D. A lot of people know I'm an Amiga fan, and so I got this recently from Appy, who's been actually doing all the electronics. He's kind of the main person now doing all my electronics internally. Of course, you're probably aware that this started off with Byron's board, but Appy's taken it on, and he's got time to be able to do this full time and help me. And so he's put in CGA EGA electronics, etc. And also what it does do is it gives 80 column mode. So the 9-pin output from the 128D, all the 128s will plug into this, and you can use it straight from here. You've still got your, assume it's displaying, there's nothing on it because I'm in 128 mode. Yes, so what I want to show you is the 80 column mode, the 9-pin output on the back of the C128D to see what it can do. It's obviously, again, this is that thing, if I'm recording it with a camera, I'm trying to get as accurate as possible, but of course you have to bear with. What I see here is pin sharp, and people who see it at the shows, this is why I like to take it around so people can see this. This actually, fun enough, has been the part that's delayed this project, because I would have launched it a few months ago, but then Appy got in touch with me, great engineer, it's been a process to get this to do development and get it absolutely spot on, so we're happy with it, and now you can see the fruits of his labour, let's put it that way. Right, so standard mode. Now, I'm not going to go into everything. This is not a review of the 128D, okay? So I'm just going to show you some screen modes. So basically, let's have a look at help. So I come into here. And what I want to do is I want to show you the colour bars. So this is actually Appy's BIOS toolkit. This one's got Jiffy DOS. You'll notice I've got a little drive down the side there. So I've got some bits and pieces on here. And there will be some editing, so it will seem like I've gone really quick. But again, this is not a 128D review. So let's go on to the test cards. So as you can see, now this is a test card that Appy wrote. Now this is actually being displayed on both. So this is the VGA. This is the upgrade board. This again, this is an optional board, but I'll explain this at the beginning. And this is the composite. Okay, so that's the composite coming out, and that's the C64 display going for composite, and this is the 80 column version. Okay, so as you can see, it's vibrant. I mean, look, you know, it is what it is. It just looks fantastic with an IPS display. You know, let's just do the IPS display test. You see, you can still see it, still see it, still see it. Yeah. This is a lovely panel. I mean, there's nothing more I can say about it. But what I'm trying to show is the electronics and the CGA and the EGA. So let's break out of this. Okay, so now what I want to show you is GEOS run on here. So let's load this again. Okay, so here we have GEOS. Let's boot it up. And you'll notice it's in quite a small screen because it's actually, this display is actually being set as a PAL display. Oh, in fact, no, it's gone 1280, 960. The controller's trying to set it up. And you can set different modes. If you see this panel on the left here, what I can do is I can, using this panel, I can move it and I can save profiles. And so I could, if I want to, scale it up. Let's not go too far. And I can make it taller. So as you can see, in that controller, I can fine tune the display if I want to. But now it's GEOS, and the great thing is I've only literally just figured out you can switch it and turn it into to use the mouse, which is brilliant. Sorry, mouse, joystick. Yes, I know it's an Atari one. Sorry about that. I'm not sorry actually, but you know. But as you can see, you know, it all works. It works actually really good. Now I'm going to do a video about this this computer because it's absolutely brilliant. I'm surprised just how much I really liked it. I mean, this is actually Appy wanted me to buy this, and I'm still not sure why he wanted me to buy it. But I mean, he's a massive fan, and he actually took one of a brand new clone C128 flat motherboard, put it into one of my checkmate cases, and built a system, really custom system. So this was not being used, and so he asked if I want to buy it. Yes, because I never had one, and it is absolutely a fascinating machine. So I really like it, I must admit. But anyway, so there you go. Although I seem to have it stopped. The mouse seems to have stopped. Is it me? No, it's probably me doing something. Probably I've done something. I don't know what. But anyway, look. Hope you can see that the C128D works great. I'm going to go back into. I'm going to reboot this and see. I want to go into that and show you those color bars again, because I think that's absolutely amazing what that does. Here we go. And then go into help. Up comes this B for bars. There you go. It's absolutely wonderful. And I really like this machine. But the great thing is, it's been a good little journey because Appy wanted to make sure that 128D was fully supported, and of course it supported CGA EGA as well. I'm really over the moon with this. So hope you like that. Thank you very much.